And then, not enough to understand of the suffering of samsara. But we have to know that this suffering is where they came from. That is very good things. If you really know the source of any of the sufferings, I think there is always solution. But most think that today we don't know the source, then it's problem. Like COVID, they don't know where they came from, so therefore we got caught problems, right? But I don't know, still maybe they don't know, or maybe somebody knows, but they don't want to tell. We don't know, but anyway, now we are free from these problems. But I'm sure we get really problem because we don't know where they came from. How they came. So Buddha says we should know that where they came from. And then he says that really the source is the negative emotion. The root of negative emotion they call ignorance. So when we hear ignorance, I think people maybe they think ignorance is much more worse than like what we have. We think we are clever. We know. I know you. I know this. I know that. We think we know more than we don't know. But every moment we are not knowing. Every moment of this movement of mind, we don't know. That's why there's hope, fear, block. Many things are unpleasant coming because of we not know these things. However, the really, the source of the suffering is ignorance, desire, and hatred. These three we call three root negative emotions. And we have to remember at least when we have such hatred, desires, because if we are aware, when we have very strong desire appears, if we are aware, not aware, but if we know well that moment, all around situations, not only that moment, but little further, little past, I think many things we can handle quite well. But generally, we don't know that. When the strong desire came, we just only want it, and touch, hold, keep, took, etc. Then, after some times, then the result will be appears. And then the Buddha says that as soon as you know the source, there is solution of the cessation. He says, then description of the cessation, and then also a description about how we attempt to become cessation. So the path, like 8 noble paths and etc. is really wonderful, like step-by-step teachings. Was his description in the first wheel of the train Dharma. Right?
Turning of the wheel of Dharma.
Okay. Train wheel of the Dharma. First train wheel of Dharma. So that is the Dharma things. A very short one. Very short one. But I think there is no way to find Dharma without these 4 noble truths. However, then is the students, these 5 students and 80,000. No, this is 8,000. Yes, 8,000 of the gods and goddesses. Also, I think the merit gods and goddesses are more merit than human beings, actually. However, And really the following the Dharma is more human being than God and goddesses, looks like. However, the first, the requesting to be taught Dharma to Buddha is this King Indras and God kings. Indras and what is the other one? These two kings came and they requested to Buddha and giving the conscious will of will of this kind of wills offered. So that's why the way, using this conch before the teachings is very big meanings and symbols there. However, and those are the like more retinues in the first the teachings. And then there's and time is actually after 7 weeks of the Buddha became enlightenment. After 7 weeks become Buddha enlightenment. And that is we call the first wheel of Dharma training or train of wheel of Dharma. And then second, the place we call Jabu Cup. It's Jabu Cup, Hyago Pumbura. I think that place they call, what's called this? This mountain near the Bodh Gaya. Rajagiris. Rajagiris. Okay, Raja means actually king, right?
It's what is there's an evil eagle that eats corpses. What it was?
A vulture.
Vulture. Yeah, which vulture speak?
Oh, Raja. Hyago Pumbura. Yes, this big bird. Hyago Pumbura. Okay, anyway, this Gyagama. What? Vajagre. And that's very close to the Bodh Gaya anyway. And Varanasi is more far from the Bodh Gaya. And Bodh Gaya is where the Buddha total enlightenment place. So they are not so far though. And then of course perfect Buddha is Buddha Shakyamuni, Nimanakaya form, and human beings Buddha of the human beings, I could say, human realms. And then here the Dharma is, the perfect Dharma is the most, this Panchaparamitas. Panchaparamita, we have 3 kind of, the very long one, detailed one. They're talking about, we call Bum. Bum means 100,000. 100,000 shlokas, verses of the Panchaparamita, that is like very detailed one. It's 12 volumes. And people read this, time to time. And then second, the Panchaparamita is that middle one. And middle length of Panchaparamita is, they have there's 20,000 verses. And then the shorter one we call 8,000. So these 8,000 verses, Panchaparamita, and 20,000 verses Panchaparamita, 100,000 verses of Panchaparamitas. And then there is what called Mother Panchaparamitas, Son Panchaparamitas, and like small, they call like 17 Mother and Son Panchaparamitas, as well as the essence of the Panchaparamitas, which we always reciting, everybody knows this Heart Sutra. So, this topic is more like really the cessation abroad, as well as also path. This is more like path details. When they call path, then they're talking about path, the 3 trainings, I think 3 trainings, the wisdom, ethic, meditations. And then the wisdom, they talk about wisdom trainings. Then they learn more about what is really wisdom, what you really know. Then they talk about more the Panchaparamitas. So Panchaparamita means they're talking about more interdependent originations, and then emptiness, or unique of the emptiness and interdependent originations. So when you read Panchaparamita, these detailed ones, many pages, they're talking about, repeat again and again this emptiness form, etc. Really, if someone read Panchaparamita very well, I think you could understood emptiness and interdependent origination quite well, because the topic is like talking again. And different people question and answer, and question and answer. How can we form emptiness? And then the answer is very long. And then how can we feeling emptiness? How can we, form feeling what is else? Permission is emptiness, etc. So it's like very detailed about emptiness. So Chandrakirti, Nagarjuna, Hintin Devas, they just collected those, from those teachings, put into like short books, and like to be taught to the people, who have easy to hold these books, because in ancient time, I think it's not easy to have such 12 books, to have in your home. And today, 12 books are very easy, but we don't have time. Ancient times, so they have time to read 12 books, but it's very hard to find 12 books. So therefore, they put a little bit shorter form and try to teach essential of those teachings. So this, in middle, the wheel of the training, or training of the wheel, second train of the wheel of Dharma. Panchaparamita is, I think this more like liberated from the path of the truth. You could say that way. More.